I'm a little late to the party when it comes to this article, right? Or the one that's about to pop up on the screen in a little bit. I'm going to say something that's going to come across as negative, and it might even make a few people mad. Some people will accept this as what it is. I don't think that legacy admissions are going to go away. Okay, before I get into that, I read this article, right? And the person in this article who's in charge of education is saying if we throw more grants for underprivileged students to keep diversity up, that's going to better keep things diverse. That's what I took from it anyway, is that the best way to keep diversity going is to throw money at this thing. And that means if you're throwing money at it from the government in the form of grants, then it'll help underprivileged students go to school. It'll make things equal. That sounds like a beautiful ideal, right? But see, there's one reason why grants are a whole lot different, okay, than legacy. See, legacies, I will say, and this is my interpretation, but y'all can put a lot more on it if you like. A legacy student is someone's family who has 4+ generations before they even stepped on campus. So they are likely the 5th generation plus, okay? See, the university doesn't, and this is the thing I'm going to say about legacies. The university doesn't have to wait for a legacy to give them their money. Because see, the article talks about, well, a student shouldn't get in based on their last name and how to write a check. But the problem that people miss is that check is going to cash quicker than that grant's going to pay that school. Now, why is that important? If you're smart enough to understand the bureaucracy of modern colleges, how it's out of control, administrative costs, have you not looked when you paid for tuition and looked at all the fees that add up and who monitors those fees? Lab fees, fees for copying paper, and all of these things, fees to use gyms, everything has an associated fee. Right? See, the reason a legacy is not going to go away is because they need that buffer to keep the business going. Because college, after all, is just a well-run business at this point. And in order to keep the business running, you can't wait for the federal government. Because anytime you're getting money from our federal government, you're going to jump through hoops. And that in itself is a big bureaucracy, and that takes forever. So on the surface, that sounds good. But so long as the federal government does not streamline that process, ain't no way they're going to get rid of legacies. The people who write those checks, the people who have those generations worth of wealth, it's nothing for those people to drop a cool 10+ million. See, salaries have to be paid. The image has to be kept up. Doesn't matter that a legacy student just goes to party off of their name and will walk away with the useless degree. But you can't assume that all of them will, because very few of them just might be smart enough and may have earned their way based on their grades. Now, I know that's going to get me laughed at, but what I'm saying is I needed to throw that in there anecdotally, because coming from money doesn't make you dumb. Some kids that are getting in their own legacy are smart kids. But let's not get it twisted. You're in there based on legacy. I just think it's naive to assume that you're going to eradicate legacy. This is why when you're on the internet complaining about it, they're trying to suppress it, because these schools know the reality of that argument. The reality is that in ridding yourself of legacy, you're ridding yourself of the easy money that keeps those facilities going. You're ridding yourself of the staff that need to be paid. So what I'm saying in this quick rant is the primary reason that legacy will never go away is because there's an associated cost with everything. And to live in the 21st century is to understand that college is no longer just an institute where you go learn. Just look at these kids you work with now. A lot of them are coming out with no valuable skills and coming out triggered. And how dare you not give me the office overlooking the city? How dare you not give me time to go to my yoga class? How dare you interrupt my coffee break past 15 minutes when most jobs only give you a 15-minute break? One in the morning and one in the afternoon, and a half-hour lunch. Some of y'all are fortunate enough you probably get an hour lunch. I miss those days as an active duty sailor. The return on investment is not worth it for most. Some it will be. But it doesn't matter for the legacy student because they have the money to get in there. You won't get rid of legacy. And I'm not saying this to be negative because college is run like a business. It's run like a network. Good networking equals somebody somewhere with some money and a name bought a $10 million building or paid $10 million to help get a new building or a new place for the students to live. See, you all are trying to do this equitable and fair thing, and life is not always fair. Look, I know this sounds terrible as a person who just finished my master's in 2022, and I graduated from the University of Washington in 2012 and took a couple of years off from college. I know that that's easy for me to say. Just keep in mind that the reason that legacies are staying around is because somebody got to keep the lights on while you wait for those grants. And don't mess with me, because those of y'all who've applied for FAFSA, applying for FAFSA is like putting out trying to pull wisdom teeth. I almost did it once. I looked at that paperwork and was like, no, I got the GI Bill. I have a great respect for y'all who do. Legacies aren't going away, and I'll tell you, and that's the reason why, and that's my quick rant. Because so long as these schools are run like a business as they are now, business equals money, and money equals outcomes. And the money coming from these families and the associated networking that comes from these families, other things that universities can benefit from, just means that they can put your complaints to the wayside while they keep that place afloat.